Namaste and welcome to the seventh talk in the series Guided Meditation for Beginners, in which we are concentrating on the practical aspects of meditation. These talks are meant for beginners and we'll trying to put you through a drill of repeatedly taking you through the process of meditation so that the basic meditation becomes natural to you. And then we also discuss some aspects of meditation. So let us meditate slightly longer than usual today. Meditation in the beginning and a little bit of discussion towards the second part of the session. Sit upright, keeping the hips, back, neck and head in a relaxed upright position. Visualize that your body is strong, healthy. Visualize right from the toes to the head through various limbs. Focus your attention to them and see and feel as if each limb is full of strength, purity. Visualize from your ankles, toes and ankles, calf muscles, knees, thighs, hips, stomach, chest and back, shoulders, elbows, arms and fingers, neck, face, head, the whole body filled with a divine light. Now focus your whole attention on your breath. Inhale and exhale in a deep, rhythmic way. Fill your lungs to the full, slowly. And as you exhale, slowly exhale and empty the lungs in a very rhythmic way. As you breathe in, visualize that you are breathing in pure light that fills your whole body and mind. And when you breathe out, visualize that you breathe out all tension, stress and unwanted things. Breathe in this way. You may use the sound Om to build the rhythm inside you. Take 3 long breaths in and out. Now let's pray for ourselves and for all beings throughout the universe. May all be happy, may all be joyful and peaceful. May all seek the highest divine within themselves. Our thoughts and prayers are very powerful, and we are all connected with each other in this cosmic mind. So we can direct these prayers to those whom we love, we care for, your family members, relatives, community members, all living beings throughout the universe. We are connected with them at the deepest level of our being. Let us send out these beautiful, sublime, pure thoughts for the welfare of all. Visualize your thoughts going out to the right, radiating out into the space and touching and uplifting all those it comes across with. See your prayers go to your left, in front of you, behind you, above and below, and in all directions, with you in the center, radiating these pure thoughts for the good of all beings. Therein, visualize a beautiful lotus, fully bloomed, full of freshness and fragrance. In the center of that lotus, visualize a flame like a lamp kept in a windless place, perfectly still, spreading its radiance in all directions, illuminating every cell of your body, every corner of your mind with its divine effulgence. Feel yourself bathed in that healing pure light. You may replace that flame with any divine form of your choice, to which your mind is naturally attracted, that divine form being the embodiment of all divine qualities, especially the qualities of grace, compassion, knowledge, beauty, purity, holiness, which is emanating this light from within you. Imagine that light to be the light of pure knowledge, spiritual knowledge, that dispels the darkness of ignorance from within us. It's a light of absolute purity, which fills us with holiness through and through. It's a light of pure bliss that fills us with great joy and contentment. It's a light of supreme peace that fills us with serenity and tranquility. It's a light of strength and fearlessness that makes us strong in all respects, physically, emotionally, mentally, morally, and spiritually. That divine is our true higher self. Focus your whole attention on the divine within you, its form, its beauty. Feel His presence, His grace and compassion, His eagerness to bestow all those divine qualities on us by purifying our body and mind, making them proper instruments for that expression. That particular form has a mantra. If you are initiated, you have received a mantra of your chosen ideal. You may also, if you are not initiated, you may use the universal sound Om, the Shabda Brahman, or if you wish, you may use Om Namo Bhagavate Ramakrishna Namah and meditate on the form of Shri Ramakrishna. That is your choice. Keep your whole mind focused on the divine form and the repetition of the mantra. Make it rhythmic with your breathing. Keep a watchful eye on the mind, that it is focused within you and on the mantra. And if it wanders away anywhere, gently bring it back to that concentration and feel that connection between you and the divine within you. Let's meditate in this way. is how you should be meditating morning and evening. Of course, for a much longer duration, 15 minutes is not sufficient. At least half an hour, preferably 45 minutes, best at least 1 hour. Then you can feel a deeper level of peace and balance and connectivity that you will experience as your meditation becomes more and more intense. In meditation, we are trying to concentrate our mind on a divine form, on a higher form. You have this struggle that in between your attempts to concentrate the mind takes off here and there. And when you examine where the mind has wandered off, you will find that almost always it is some not so important, some trivial thing. And you wonder, why did I leave such an important exercise and my mind has wandered away? Well, the mind has become conditioned to go after these things. It has been having a free time, so to say, and now you are trying to restrain it. It's not going to yield immediately until it gets a taste. So one of the practical ways to prepare your mind to the session of meditation, to the hour of meditation. All of a sudden, you cannot simply detach the mind from so many things you are doing in the day and then focus certainly on the divine that you are trying to meditate. A part of the mind, if it is looking forward towards this hour of meditation, okay, this evening I will go and I will sit down and I will commune with this wonderful idea and thought on the divine presence in me. That eagerness is like suppose it's your birthday or something today. During the whole day, so many times you remember that today there is a special program where so many friends will come and you will have a good time. No one has to come and tell you that it's your birthday so many times. Naturally, your mind goes. Or suppose somebody whom you love and care for so much is coming after a long time from a faraway place. For the whole week, your mind is constantly gravitating to the thought of that person, and you look forward to the moment that person will come and you will have that wonderful company. Likewise, if the mind looks forward to this hour of meditation in which you meet somebody who is very near and dear to you, who is the source and the life of your life, that type of a relationship develops, then you will find you will not have to struggle so much to forcefully bring the mind. So, during the time of meditation, therefore, during meditation, we should try to establish that wonderful relationship, a very close relationship with God. That He is our friend and philosopher and guide. He is our nearest and dearest. He is our only source, companion, not in this life, but life after life. And He is our greatest well-wisher. He has all that we want. Actually, He is not different from us. He is our own higher self. Somehow, in between, this ego has come, and that creates a difference between the Paramatman and Jivatman. This ego, Sri Ramakrishna says, is like a piece of a stick. You put it in water, suddenly you have two sides. But really the water is not divided, the ego seems to divide it. Okay? And if this ego is removed, then the two sides merge into one. They were always one, but the difference disappears. The barrier disappears. Likewise, this ego has to be merged into the divine by the spirit of surrender. The Bhakta says, I am nothing. Whatever I am, this ego really doesn't have its own independent existence. Just like if somebody sees a reflection in a pot of water out in the sun, you might see a reflection, the eye sense in there, but it does not exist independent of the sun in the sky. Likewise, this eye sense that we feel is a reflection of the divine in this body-mind complex. God made man in His own image. In other words, God is a pure consciousness. We are also that pure consciousness being reflected in this body-mind complex. But because the water is not very clear, it's a little muddy, the reflection is not coming out. So it's no fault of the sun. The sun has not changed. So likewise, that eternally pure being, which on whom we are trying to focus our whole attention, meditation, and concentrate our mind on it, that is the absolute purity, beauty, goodness, infinite existence, infinite knowledge, infinite bliss. Nothing can tarnish that in any way. But when it sees itself in this mirror of the mind, then it sees something that is not so beautiful and clear because there's so much dust that has gathered on the mirror of the mind. What we try to do during meditation is to purify this mind by constantly focusing the mind on the divine and repeating the mantra. That's very, very important. We'll discuss the significance of this Om little bit today maybe and tomorrow. Why that process of repetition of a word in a very deep rhythmic way harmonizes us to that greater truth that is within us. So this relationship is to be there. Don't imagine it to be a light, like a lifeless light, like a lamp. It doesn't have a livingness in it. That life, that divine that we are trying to connect with is the life of our life, so to say. More living than we are living, more alive than we are, more conscious than we are conscious. It's more beautiful, more pure, everything you can say in infinite degree, infinite existence, infinite knowledge, infinite bliss, infinite purity, infinite goodness, infinite peace. You put all those wonderful things that you can think about that could be divine. Multiply by that infinity, put that in one basket and superimpose it on that form of God that you feel. That would be our conception of God, not God Himself. That's at the present level how the mind can conceive. But definitely it is far much more attractive than anything in the world. If we can feel that a little bit as we come closer and closer to it, you will begin to feel that radiance, you will feel that light. In a dark night, if the lamp is very far away, you do not you see the lamp, but you don't feel that light so close to be able to read with the help of it. But if you come closer and closer, then it illumines you also. And likewise, in a winter, if there's a fireplace, and if you sit very far away from it, you will not feel its warmth. But if you come closer and closer, you will begin to feel that. Likewise, as we go deeper and deeper into our being, you will feel that light illuminating yourself, and you will see, I feel smarter, I feel happier, I feel more peaceful. It is that inner light now shining through your body, mind, and complex. And that is what meditation is supposed to slowly, step by step, take to you. The more you practice sincerely, morning and evening, and with great enthusiasm, with great zeal and sincerity and intensity, purity of purpose, you'll find that you make that progress fast. And meditation should not simply stop with that meditation session of 15 or 20 minutes there. It should leave with you a little bit of intoxication that lingers in your mind throughout the day. So the divine presence that we feel intensely during the hour of meditation, we should feel that presence in our lives throughout the day. A part of the mind still lingers on that wonderful feeling and that presence. And you remind yourself constantly that all the activities that are happening through the body, you might be writing, teaching, driving, whatever is there, all the thought processes that are going, where you are thinking, planning, analyzing, rationalizing, whatever you're doing, the functions of the senses, the eyes are seeing, the ears are hearing, and so on. All these activities are happening because of that consciousness within us. And if that consciousness is not there one moment, then everything will simply fall flat and collapses. Now, if we don't give credit to that divine presence and think that I am doing, I am listening, I am doing, then we are misappropriating the real source of that power from the divine to us. We should try to be an instrument through which the divine power works. We should not feel that we are the doer, but we are that instrument through which the divine works. And when that divine will withdraw one day, as it will happen in the case of everyone, this body and mind, no matter how beautiful, strong, whatever it is, will be a lifeless thing and will immediately begin to decompose and go. So let's keep that fact of mind. That strong connection and loving relationship that we will establish with that divine consciousness that is at the core of our being and that what we really are. During meditation and in the midst of our activities, so that when we are trying to get out of it, when you finish your day's work, you come back, you take a bath, wash your body, you go into the meditation room, when you meditate and give a mental bath to your mind and cleanse it of all the impurities and thoughts and ideas, whatever had got on to us during the day, and we make that deep connection with that essence of what we really are. So that is one thing we should try to do intensely during meditation, and to some extent keep a part of the mind on the divine presence in our heart throughout our day. How do you know you are making good progress in meditation? Well, during meditation, if you feel you lose the sense of time, time does not hang heavy on you. You are not looking, oh, I just been meditating for 5 minutes or something. That means your mind is not very concentrated. But if you look and said, okay, half an hour felt and I did not feel that, that means you had good concentration. The second important thing is that during meditation, the mind is intensely awake and alert. Okay, it is very intensely awake and alert and has that intense awareness. It's not like some people who might be tired and they sit down for meditation and then they concentrated and then next time they woke up, half an hour has gone and they didn't feel that passage of time and they think, wow, that was good meditation, so much time passed away, but what happened in that half an hour, I do not know. That is not meditation. One probably dozed off to sleep. It's called laya in technical language or in yoga language. So when that tends to happen, then do not continue, otherwise you get into that habit of sleeping during meditation. What you should do is, maybe get some, wash your face, try to keep awake and focus with great alertness of mind. So in meditation, the degree of concentration or alertness will be pitched very high, but concentrate. So that's the second part. Thirdly, the mind keeps on going out to various things around. It could be something within the house, it could be something to do with people around you or work, but around this world where we are busy. So if we do not have this power to detach our mind from these various pulls in the outside world, we will not be able to concentrate it on the divine that's within us. So along with trying to practice concentration of mind, we should also practice or strengthen the power of detaching the mind from things where it has sort of formed a habit of naturally going and enjoying, but really not much comes out of it. We're just beating around, keeping it engaged in some way. So this power of detachment, practicing that is very, very important also. And that happens when we develop this power of discrimination. Discrimination means whatever the mind is engaged in activity, a part of the mind is watching and constantly asking, is it worth it? Is it good? Is it real? And the moment it says it's not so, then automatically drops it and goes to something else. And constantly we try to tell the mind that asatoma satagamaya. Everything outside in this world is asat. That means non-permanent, transitory. Right from, and we can see the change happening around. And anything that is changing is not permanent. And there might be a degree of happiness and knowledge for the time being, but because it is going to change, that happiness also will disappear. Or if there is some suffering, that also will disappear. Nothing is permanent in this world, everything shall pass. So, if that constant alertness is there, that eternal peace and happiness and knowledge and whatever I am seeking cannot be in this world, in this temporary world, then the mind is slowly weaned away from those engagements and it will seek, and we can educate it, train it that it's not out there, it's within whatever you're seeking for. Repeatedly remind yourself, whatever you are seeking for is deep inside at the consciousness level. That is where we are eternal and immortal. That is where we are absolutely pure and one with that infinite peace that surpasses all understanding. And if we seeking that, but we should seek in the right place, in the right way. So that is an enlightened way of approaching whatever our pursuit in life. So how do we practice that this detachment before at least the hour of meditation? Can we? So when I come here, we just of course naturally go into this meditation. I would suggest you to try this as an exercise to add to your next meditation session, because our sessions are small, so we not able to cover everything. But we come sit down 10-15 minutes before we have our 7 o'clock meditation time, and do this little bit of mental exercise. Okay, we call it a reality check. Reality means that it is permanent, sat. Okay, and the world is unreal, that means it's temporary. We are trying to say, analyze and visualize what is the truth and where we can position ourselves mentally so that the world's distractions cannot intrude into our mental space during the time of meditation. So there are two types of exercises we do. Mental exercises or visualization. Very simple. But if you do it repeatedly, you will perfect it and you will find that it has got a sort of a capacity to build a firewall around you. And when you have got this firewall, like in computer, they have this firewall through which unwanted things cannot penetrate. Whether Lakshmana did that firewall for Mother Sita, where the Rakshasas could not enter. If you get out of it, you will get affected. But so long you remain within that firewall zone, then nothing is affecting you. So can we build that type of firewall, so to say, based out of knowledge? In a detachment where the world cannot intrude into us, into our mental space during our hour of meditation. So here's one little simple exercise that you can do. So what you do is sit down in your place of meditation and do a little bit of visualization of little space travel, so to say. You look at yourself and you try to physically or mentally lift. And when I'm telling you, try to do this now and you see. Okay, so sit up straight and imagine that you are in a beautiful space, calm and quiet. Then you look down into the world, the house that you are. You see that yourself moving, going higher and higher in space, and you're looking down and you see the house that you are living in. And as you go higher, the neighborhood comes into view. You go higher, the city of Brisbane comes around, the whole of the city. As you go higher, the whole of Australia can be seen. And New Zealand and the Pacific Island countries come into view. You keep going higher and higher. The whole world appears to be a big ball, blue in color. You go higher and higher, and the world becomes smaller and smaller. Other planets come into view. The sun in the solar system comes into view. You go higher and higher, further and further, and other planetary systems come. The whole galaxy, Milky Way, comes into view. Other Milky Ways come, other galaxies come into view, and you are out in the deep space from which the Earth has disappeared, less significant than a speck of dust that you see in a beam of light when you are cleaning your room in the morning. The Earth with its 7 billion people, all its challenges and problems, everything has been relegated into insignificance. And you are in this vast existence in which planets, galaxies, universes are rising and falling. That infinite existence is that absolute, what we call Brahman or God. And you sit in that silence, undisturbed by anything from this world which has become almost non-existent to you. And you listen to that silence and feel the vastness of the space around you. And you feel the divine consciousness, intelligence permeating through all existence. And you are part of that existence. This coming and going into this world has happened many, many times. When you look back at your lives, many, many times we have come in different countries, in different places, have had all these experiences from birth and death, and everything has come to a pass. This life also, so many days and weeks and months and years have passed, and this too will pass. Nothing is of any importance. Everything is very, very insignificant, trivial. Let's not make a big deal about all the small things around us, but focus the mind on the most important truth, which is our divine nature. Pure, perfect, eternal, immortal. That's the greatest truth of what we are. Not these little bodies in existence and all these concerns of the world. Listen to that silence. Feel that pulsation throughout the universe. Try to be in rhythm with that. Now you will sit upright, keeping your back, neck and head in a relaxed position. Focus on your breath. Pray for the welfare of all. Visualize the divine presence in your heart. Focus your whole mind and attention on it, and keep it there. So, if you do this process prior to you sitting down for meditation, you'll see that mentally we have detached ourselves from all the concerns of the world. And the so many things which seem to be important to us throughout the day have been relegated to the insignificance. It is we who empower or give reality or importance to these things, our own minds, our own value systems. We can amplify a small thing into a very big problem and feel crushed by it, or we can relegate it to a small, insignificant, trivial thing and say, that does not matter. Like we said, for an ant on the road, a small pebble is a big problem. For an elephant, he doesn't even notice that little pebble there. The choice is for us whether we will feel a small, insignificant human being helpless like this ant, and to us everything is a problem, or we will identify ourselves with our infinite nature, from whose perspective this whole world does not exist. What to talk about all our trivial problems in this life and the lives that have come. Here, everything is so insignificant. Asatoma Sattamaya. We pray to the divine to detach our mind from all these mundane, trivial things and attract it towards that eternal truth that is within us. That is the essence of that power. Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya. O Lord, who are the embodiment of that light within me, and outside is all darkness. In that darkness there are shadows. Of the shadows we could call these various ghosts and this and that, and we are full of fear and all those things. Destroy this ignorance by spreading that light of spiritual knowledge, light of discrimination. So, tamasoma jyotirgamaya. Mrityarma amritamgamaya. Mrityu means destruction. That which has been constructed through Srishti remains for a period of a lifespan, we call, and then the forces that hold that entity together begin to disintegrate, give up, and the body disintegrates to its original minerals and atoms and whatever we are physically made of. The same will happen to the mind. But behind that, there is something which is indestructible. That is the divine consciousness, the Atman, the self of man. We are immortal here and now as that Atman. We can never be immortal as the body no matter how much we try to it. So, when we are seeking for immortality, it can never be immortality of the body. And there's no need to seek for the immortality of the Atman because it always is immortal, never was taken away from it. Only when we have lost our identity with this Atman, have become identified with this body-mind complex, in that situation, in that ignorance, we have lost that true knowledge. So meditation is the reverse process by which we detach ourselves from the external world, we detach ourselves from the body, from the senses, from the mind itself by making it calm and one-pointed through concentration on any one divine form and repetition of a mantra, and we integrate ourselves and become one with that object of meditation. The highest form of meditation, of course, is the spiritual subject of meditation, and that repeated effort to do this is called sadhana, and this is the only way to supreme peace and bliss. The more we practice, the more we come closer to the fire, the more we will feel its warmth, and the more we'll feel the grace of God, we might say, and His blessings. And it all is dependent on this pursuit and how our mind operates, how much we work for it. So daily, morning and evening, systematically, with great sincerity and intensity and zeal, we should pursue this. And after some time, you'll develop a taste for it, and then this meditation becomes a habit, and you'll feel that it will touch and give a different flavor and taste in everything to our everyday activities, because we are more integrated with the divine within. Nothing much can unruffle us easily. Even if it does disturb a little bit, very quickly we will regain our balance. Such is the power that comes through the repeated practice of meditation. That's why we should meditate. Let us pray to the divine that dwells in the heart of all beings to attract us naturally, so that the mind does not run out after our material things, material sense-bound pleasures, but like a moth that in the darkness, if it sees a flame, it rushes towards that divine flame within. Let the mind, like the moth, seek the divine light within us. That is our prayer to Sri Ramakrishna. May he direct our mind or attract our minds towards himself seated